Fitness, food, fun, that's the motto, right? We've done some fun, done some fitness. Gyms aren't even open right now anyway, so it's all food today. We're going to talk about this stuff. All right, so I pretty much try my very, very hardest to make every single day different from the previous day. I wake up different times, go to bed at different times every day. I drive different routes to work, listen to different music, sometimes work out in the morning, sometimes work out at night. But every single day, really the main constant is this. I do have a smoothie every single day. Now, that comes with some variance as well, of course. It's not the same time every day. It's not always breakfast. It's not always lunch. It's not always post-workout, but it is in there every single day without question. And the idea of having a smoothie after a workout, protein shake, pretty much as old as bodybuilding itself. That goes way back to the 70s, and Arnold and everybody with a master's in bro science can tell you about their protein shakes, but they're kind of onto something, because when it comes to, macronutrient breakdown, obviously we know protein is the most expensive, it's the most filling, and it is the most important. It's also the hardest one for a lot of people to hit, which in a world where this exists, I don't know how that's possible. So you only see 3 ingredients in front of you. I know a lot of people like to make their smoothies complex and crazy, but mine is a little bit different. It's very simple, it's very tasty, and it's very macronutrient friendly as well. Let's whip it up. A few things with the smoothie. Mine that I'm having right now is generally aimed towards a cutting phase, losing weight, gaining muscle. Now, of course, there's no magic foods that help you do that, but with how the macros and the ingredients are laid out with this, makes it easier. This is 240 calories in this whole thing, 42 grams of protein, only 12 grams of carbs, and 2.5 grams of fat. Now, there's pretty much nothing you can buy, especially for that price, that's going to get you those kind of macros and keep you full for this long and be this tasty. Of course, you can have just scoops of protein on its own with water or milk and shake it up, and that's good as well if you're trying to hit your protein, but this helps you get your servings of fruit in. You could throw some vegetables in there. I don't. I'll explain why in a minute, but it also helps you stay full for longer because of the volume from the fruit. I went with strawberry banana for this one. I like to kind of mix up what fruit I use from time to time though. I like anything raspberry, mango, kiwi. Mixed berry is good too for frozen fruit, but if I'm doing mixed berry, it's gonna be messy. I'm not really taking it to go because the seeds at the bottom from blackberries. So as I kind of mentioned earlier, there's not really a best time of the day to have this. It works literally any time, which is another reason why I use it so much. I have it for breakfast a lot, just on my way out the door when I'm heading to work. It's easy to make, take it to go, even if I'm running late, it's really quick. I can have it for lunch, I can have it as a meal replacement, I can have it post-workout, obviously good to slide 40 grams of protein in after a lift. I also like it pre-workout a lot. If this is the only thing I'm going to have pre-workout, I'm going to have it about 75 to 90 minutes before I go lift weights and let it digest a little bit, and feels good after that. I like having, there's BCAAs in this protein. I don't take BCAAs separately, so that obviously helps get some leucine in there pumping through. Right now I'm having it for supper. It's evening right now, and I just made one. This is all I'm going to have probably for the next 3-4 hours. It's good enough to keep me full that long, even though it's only 240 calories. Now, I do make a second variation of this as well. Higher carb, higher fat, a little bit more protein, but about the same there. And basically all I do is substitute That vanilla protein that you just saw me use, I would substitute that for a chocolate one. Those are going to be the same macros. I think the chocolate one just blends better with the rest of the ingredients that I would use. So instead of a frozen strawberry banana mix, I would just put a whole banana in there, and I would put a scoop of peanut butter, almond milk, chocolate protein, and I really like the kind of chocolate peanut butter banana flavor mix you get. The reason I use vanilla with this one is because I just like how it mixes with the berry better flavor wise. I don't like chocolate and berries mixed together. And then with the peanut butter as well, that's why I use chocolate for the other one, because I wouldn't like how the peanut butter mixes with the fruit either. And that second one I would use more in a muscle gain phase, or if I'm not going to be eating for a long time. 45 grams of protein, 48 grams of carbs, and about 10 grams of fat, depending on if you're dialed, and if you're weighing your peanut butter or not, which I would recommend doing. So that one's 450 calories. Again, most people could fit that in, even if they are in a cutting phase. It's just having those extra 200 calories to play with at the end of the day is nice. So if you are cutting, recommend sticking with something like this. I've spent a long time perfecting the ratios of fruit to protein to milk, and this seems to be the best. 1 cup of almond milk is all you need. It doesn't have to be almond milk either. There's varieties. You can use soy milk if that's your thing, or cashew milk. I know a lot of people use. I like almond milk just because I like the texture, and I find I can't really taste it, and it's dairy-free. This one I get is super low cal. It's 30 calories for 8 ounces, which is a cup. 1 protein, 1 carb, 2 fat. So that's where the only fat in this entire smoothie comes in. I suppose you could use water as well. I would use a little bit less so it's not so thin, and you're just not getting the same flavor value that you are from something like almond milk. As far as the protein goes, any powder is fine. Really up to you. Whatever you normally use, whatever you're comfortable with, is going to work. I picked this one for a few reasons. Perfect Sports Diesel, not sponsored, no affiliation with them whatsoever, but I've been buying their protein for a long time for a few reasons. Like I said, most whey protein isolates are good options, but most of them are going to have 3 to 4 grams of carbs with them, some tag-along fats as well sometimes. Diesel, on the other hand, it's the good shit. It's pure. It's grass-fed protein from New Zealand. It doesn't really cost any more than any other regular tub, but it's 27 grams of protein, no carb, no fat, and the French vanilla flavor is delicious. So just to kind of put a wrap on things, like I said earlier, in a world where something like this exists, I find it really hard to not get enough protein. People come to me often asking how they can get more protein. A lot of things I would suggest food-wise: tuna, egg whites, chicken breast, all that stuff you've heard of, protein bars as well, although those come with some carbs as well. This, on the other hand, is an unreal replacement for any of those things. Like I said, 42 grams of protein. It took me under a minute to make it. It tastes delicious. Even if you have one in the morning and you're still not where you're at for protein, not where you want to be for protein at the end of the day, have another one. There's nothing wrong with having 2 of these in a day. Now, the limit probably does exist on the amount of whey protein the human body can absorb in a single day, but it's going to be a lot more than what 2 fruit smoothies is going to give you, trust me. Recipe-wise, of course, I'm open to suggestions. You'll notice I didn't put a lot of extra stuff in my protein. I know a lot of people like to put yogurt in there. Some people put like chia seeds. A lot of people put greens, or even like actual greens like kale or spinach in there as well. I don't put any of that stuff in. Don't add any extra supplements. I just find it messes with the texture and taste too much, and I get enough of that stuff from other sources. Honestly, this tastes so much better without a scoop of greens that I would rather have this, and then if I was taking a green supplement, just chug that with water later in the day, and so not to offset the taste of ruining something that's this good. Yogurt, same thing. Yogurt, chia seeds, all that stuff I mentioned, same thing. I would rather have those as a snack later on in the day rather than trying to cram it in here, messing up the macros, messing up the texture, and just throwing the taste off a little bit. That's probably the main thing for me. Like, macros are great, texture is great, but the taste is... This will kick your craving for a Wendy's Frosty any day. It's actually that good. All right, channel's rolling. Gyms are opening again soon. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this. Even if you didn't, leave a comment too. Tell me how much you hated it. I'm fine with that. I did write a blog about this as well. If the spoken word isn't really your thing, you'd rather sit down and read. It's not a long read. Probably get through it in 3 minutes. It's on the blog section of rulestoliftby.com. Weekly blog posts coming out. Most recent one is about this. Basically just goes over everything we covered in a written form, so you don't have to watch this video over and over to remember. Recipes are there, macros there, types of protein suggestions are there. Check that out. I'll link it in the description below. We've covered some fun stuff lately. We've now covered some food stuff lately. Hopefully, it's fitness time again soon. Thanks.